Back in 1980s, when PCs were becoming familiar among people, the operating system that most of the people knew or used was Microsoft DISC operating system. There were few number of operating systems back then, but nowadays there are lots of operating systems running across several devices such as smartphones, laptops, desktops, servers, or other mobile devices such as smartwatch. In this video, we'll see how the mobile operating system, or specifically the smartphone operating system, lines up in today's world. Basically, an operating system is a primary software that runs on any computer or devices, and its job is to provide support for running user programs. At the times when there were no operating system, users needed to load the apps or program into the computer memory to perform certain tasks. But with the advancement of technology, now we have several types of operating system available that supports graphical user interface, multitasking, and even multiple processors. Mobile operating system have features found in personal computers operating system, in addition to some more features like touchscreen support, SMS, GSM calling, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS. There are number of mobile operating system like Google's Android, Apple's iOS, Windows Phone operating system by Microsoft, Research in Motion BlackBerry OS, Nokia Symbian operating system, Samsung Tizen operating system, and many others. Among these, the most popular operating system are the Android and iOS. While the Windows Phone was getting attention, it is now a failure with 0% market share, almost 0% market share in the entire phone industry. This is the statistics of the smartphone operating system distribution across the world, and we can see that the Android operating system has the market share of almost 80%, and the iOS has almost 20%, and other operating system has near 0% market share as of May 2018. Google has control over the Android operating system, but it's an open source software, meaning it's freely available software that is available to install in hardware like smartphone. Any company can build and design a smartphone and use the Android operating system without paying any charges to Google. In contrary to this, Apple's iOS software is a closed source software, and iOS runs only in the hardware that is manufactured by the Apple. And till this time, the Apple has not given any license to any other hardware manufacturer to use the iOS operating system in their devices. As the interest of most of the people are in only iOS and Android, I'll be talking about Android and iOS in this video. Looking at the Android operating system distribution, the Marshmallow version is the most used operating system of Android, and then the Gingerbread is the least one, and then the Oreo, the recent operating system, is only 5%. While looking at the distribution of iOS software among Apple devices, we can see that the version 6.0 is near to 0%, and then the latest version 11.4 is installed on the 86% of the iOS devices, and we can tell that the Apple is very good at providing update to the devices they have sold. Both operating system, iOS and Android, are a strong competitor, but either Android or iOS handle things better in some cases. On the hardware level, the iOS and Android smartphone have almost identical feature, but it's a software experience that makes the difference. From the start, the Android has 3 hardware or software buttons to navigate or perform tasks in a smartphone, whereas the iOS has only one button or even no button at all, as we have seen in the iPhone 10. Android is also moving towards the gesture-based control, as in iOS. As we can see, this gesture-based control in smartphone from manufacturer like Vivo and Oppo and many other manufacturers. But this is just a recent feature that a smartphone manufacturer has integrated into the Android system, and it is not a feature that is directly built into the Android operating system. But Google may eventually add this feature, the gesture-based control feature, in coming version of Android, as the smartphone manufacturer are moving the phone to the almost bezel-less design with the higher screen to body ratio, and it's quite futuristic to see any smartphone without no buttons or no navigation buttons at all in the screen. And also the viewing and the user experience is immersive with the phone having no buttons at all. Another feature of mobile operating system the people generally are concerned about is the notification system. Notification on Android are better from day one. I personally like the Android operating system notification more than the iOS because of its grouping of notification from the same app. iOS notification puts the notification separately even if it is from the same app, so when you have multiple notification, then it is very easy to miss one. With that being said, iOS operating system continues to improve its notification, as Apple just announced that the grouping of notification from the same app will be made available in iOS 12. But still, Android notifications are better than iOS. For instance, you can even continue the conversation from the notification within the notification with Android, while you have to open the app to continue the conversation. Also, Android developers have wide control over the notification in Android, whereas the iOS developers have limited control to show the notification. Android has been giving a best experience in the notification side from the beginning, so it's still better than iOS. Talking about the smartphone camera, Apple's iPhone camera are always praised for accurate color reproduction and high quality output in both images and video. But this did not live up until the Android phone, the Pixel 2. Google Pixel 2 had the highest DxOMark rating among all smartphones, and it produced eye-pleasing images and video with Google's powerful software processing and decent camera hardware. This proves that even the Android phone can compete at the hardware level with the Apple's devices. I have some exclusive feature available in both Android and iOS, and neither iOS or Android has copied this feature till this date. The first one is from the Android, and it's the ability to use different app for opening the same file. You can choose the app of your like to open the file or photos, and in iOS you are forced to open any files or documents by the app that is provided by Apple, or only a single app. Another feature is from the iOS operating system, and it's called the Spotlight search. Though the Google is pioneer in search technology, but iOS wins in this scenario, as the iOS devices are searchable with high precision than the Android, or even the Android has no search system in the Android to search for files or documents in your Android devices. But in iOS you can have the search system to search for files in your devices or even in the cloud of Apple. Another feature that is exclusive to the Android is the customizable home screen or launcher. You can use launchers like Nova launcher, Google Now launcher, or any other launcher to change the look and feel of your home screen and apps layout. And this feature is not available in iOS. Just Android is more customizable than the iOS. And for instance, in Android you can use custom ringtones or alarm, but in iOS it's not that easy to use custom ringtones. And another feature of iOS is the ability to read content from one iOS devices to another. That is, you can copy paste from one iOS devices to another iOS device. So it is a very seamless experience in iOS device to have this feature, but in Android it is not available. Another feature of Android is the smart unlock. So with this smart unlock feature, you can have your device unlocked all the time whenever you are connected to the Bluetooth device such as smartwatch, or whenever you are in a certain safe place, so that unlocking at that place will not affect your security. Another feature available in the iOS is the messaging system, and it's called iMessage. The iMessage has whole new experience of messaging in iOS. You can sync your all message in your all iOS devices with the iMessage messaging app, and this feature is not available in Android. One feature that is trivial but I find it interesting is the feature to scroll to the top of the any app screen by just tapping on the title bar. This feature is very handy for mobile devices like smartphone when it comes to scrolling large vertical content. Mobile devices are often scrolled more than computers because of its size, and there is no such feature in Android to scroll. In Android, the app developer has to build the scrolling feature by themselves, and it is not built right into the Android system. Wrapping it up, there are pros and cons of every operating system. Apparently, both operating system continues to evolve throughout the time. In general, operating system have somewhat similar features, but talking specifically about Android and iOS, Android is more customizable. In software side, comes with cheap and high-end phones, giving buyers more options to choose from. And the downside of Android is its security, as it is considered vulnerable to threats because a given device may not always get the latest vulnerability patch or security patch. Apple iOS devices, on the other hand, has a strong reputation for security and being a premium device. But to own an iOS device, you probably run out of bang, as they have only the high-end device selling at expensive price than the Android phones. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel so that I can continue to make more videos like this. This is Tech Antenna and I am Krishna. See you guys in the next video.